It is a hot Wednesday afternoon as the Sasquatch welcome Bison baseball for the third straight game here at home before also continuing this series with two more games coming up on Saturday and Sunday. Hello everyone and welcome inside the press box here at Black Hills Energy Stadium. I'm Ari Wall. Sasquatch are coming off a dominating victory against Bison baseball last night, beating them 16-1, and now over the first two games of this series, they are outscoring Bison baseball 39-5 over the first two games of this series. This is a three-game set. They'll finish up that three games here today before continuing it on Saturday and Sunday. The Bison baseball will head to Oahe for a couple games in the middle. Sasquatch will be rolling out a starting pitcher today in Kyle Finn. We'll also see him DHing and batting cleanup in the order. The Sasquatch are going with a bullpen game, so we'll see a lot of different arms in the Sasquatch rotation, not only just on the pitching side of things, but also some position players. Kyle Finn most notably a hitter, but today he'll be getting the start. So we'll see him and a couple other guys on the rubber today for the Sasquatch. And the Sasquatch are also, of course, here at home, which they've been much better. And we'll take a look in our off-the-wall stats about how the Sasquatch compare when they're at home versus when they're on the road. They're a much better team when they're here at Black Hills Energy Stadium. You see the record 15-6 at home versus 7-7 on the road. A much better offensive team, over 11 runs per game when they're here at Black Hills Energy Stadium, batting just .257 on the road. So certainly a good sign that they're here at home, trying to win a third straight game against Bison baseball and continue what's been a good start to this second half of the season. And hopefully, when all is said and done, they'll finish second place in the division, or in the ILB, I should say, and with a spot in the playoffs. So when we come back, lineups, first pitch, and baseball here from Mascot Night at Black Hills Energy Stadium. Stick around. All that coming up after this.
performed by Cora Carlson.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose rough stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
The ceremonial first pitch by Sampson, our mascot here at the ballpark for Mascot Night, kicks us off here on Wednesday afternoon. It's the Bison baseball and the Spearfish Sasquatch getting set for a third straight game. Bison baseball rolling out a similar lineup to what we've seen over the last couple of days. A few changes. We'll give you the full lineup for you right here. Ethan Kang, the third baseman, leads things off. Alex Everson, he's in center field and bats second. Aiden Hall's the shortstop, he bats third. Mason Daniels is in right field and he cleans up. Dayton Francis bats fifth. David Henry sixth. And then Mason Tassano, Cullen Kleinsaucer, and Talon Fields. That rounds out the order for Bison baseball here today. And like we mentioned in the open, Spearfish Sasquatch will not be going with one of their regular starting pitchers. Instead, it'll be a guy most notably known for his luscious hair and his time at first base and as a designated hitter. But today, he'll be getting the ball to start this one off. It's Kyle Finn on the mound, who's making just his second appearance as a pitcher this summer. His first came on May 24th against the Casper Spuds. You see the very limited numbers on screen. He went just one inning against Casper, faced 6 batters. He pitched the bottom half of the 8th inning in a game the Sasquatch would ultimately lose 12-2. That was the very beginning of the season when the Sasquatch were on the road in Casper. He gave up 2 runs, one of them earned, and struck out 1 spud in that outing as well. Sasquatch will be rolling out a lot of different arms today. Talked with head coach Justice Scott about the plan not only for today but also going forward. He said with, of course, the number of guys, starting pitchers, Jackson Renz, Colin Anderson, Easton Brooks, all departing from the team early on in the summer, or most recently Colin Anderson departing. Sasquatch need a couple more starting pitchers, and Russell Peterson and Cade Bleeker, who are both still here with the team, are the 2 that he trusts the most. And so those guys will be getting a little bit of extra rest heading into the final couple series against the Casper Spuds and Fremont Moo, the series that mean a lot heading down the stretch. And so with the team, not to sugarcoat it, the Bison not as good as Casper and Fremont, an opportunity to give those guys a little extra rest and have Kyle Finn get the ball today. Finn is ready on the mound. Ethan Kang from the right side of the box checks his swing and looks at ball 1, and we are underway. 6:09, first pitch here at the ballpark on a hot Wednesday afternoon. 87 degrees at first pitch. One-0 from Finn is in there for a strike. 1-1 the count. Ben Ayette is in the field, the umpire, and Corey Monroe will be doing the balls and strikes. He is the home plate umpire today. 1-1 from Finn is in there for a strike. Count is 1-2. The Sasquatch last night, a 16-1 victory over Bison baseball over the first 2 games of this set. Sasquatch are outscoring Bison baseball 39-5. They are out-hitting them 33-8 over those first 2 games as well, and their combined shutout from last night was broken up on the last play of the game when Bison baseball got a hit into left field. They scored a run, but also third out of the inning and the last out of the game was thrown out at the plate. Jordan Bowman delivered a great start yesterday. Won't see the same length out of Kyle Finn, but hopefully he can be just as good as he sets down Ethan Kang down on strikes for the first out of the ball game. Take a look at the Sasquatch defense behind Kyle Finn. Patrick Rakes is in left field. Ben Tate for the first time is in center, and Jordan Bowman for the first time is in right. In field, Cook, Coleman, Gonzalez, and Nelson. That's third to first. And Jake Dempsey is doing the catching of Kyle Finn. This is up and in. That gets a piece of Alex Everson, hit by pitch. Gives Bison baseball their first base runner. So with 1 out, there will be 1 on for Aiden Hall. Hall, the shortstop today. And batting again in the 3 spot in the order. Bison baseball started off their season on the road in Milwaukee, where they lost the first 3 games of the year. Came here and have lost the first 2 against Spearfish. Pitch is high. Ethan Kang and Alex Everson have occupied the first 2 spots in the order each of the first 3 times that the Sasquatch have seen them. Aiden Hall has occupied the 3rd spot in the order for now a 2nd consecutive day. The 1-0, that's up and in. Causes Hall to duck. Hall so far this season, this is the 6th game played for Bison baseball, and now he's played in all 6 games. Showing bunt here, ahead of a 2-0 pitch. Pulls it back, he was taken all the way, and he looks at ball 3. Hall across his first 5 games, he's 3 for 18, a 167 batting average. His lone extra base hit was a double. This is high, nowhere close. So after a hit by pitch, he's thrown 4 straight balls after that. He walks Aiden Hall. Bison baseball now have first and second with nobody out. Key to the game, going with a little bit of Michael Jackson today. Don't stop till you get enough. Sasquatch, like we mentioned, piling on the hits, piling on the offense. And it's the second half of the season. Every game means so much at this point, and Sasquatch can't afford to lose any. Don't stop till you get enough wins. Don't stop till you get enough hits. However you want to look at it, Sasquatch need a win today to continue a good start to the second half of the year. Drops in strike 1 to Mason Daniels. This is game 36 of the summer for the Sasquatch and game 11 of the second half. A 1 is swung on and missed, nothing in 2. Numbers for Daniels, this is his 4th game played of the summer in his previous 3. 3 for 11, this is as a hitter, 273 batting average. You've also seen him as a pitcher as he appeared in yesterday's game on the mound. 0-2, runner from second takes off. The pitch is swung on and missed, it's in the dirt. Daniels is out, they don't need to throw it as first base was occupied. So it will be a strikeout to Mason Daniels, both runners advance. Everson was going on the pitch, so he'll at least get a stolen base. Hall advances to second on the strikeout. 2 away in the inning, second and third for Dayton Francis, the first baseman. Bison baseball have fell behind early in each of the first 2 games. Bag was dislodged over at third base, so Chance Green's going out to help. Francis this season has also played in all 5 games heading into today. He's 4 for 17. A 235 batting average. He has 5 RBIs and a home run, the lone home run of the team. And his 5 RBIs, the team only has 11, so he's been certainly one of their best hitters to this point. He appeared in yesterday's game as well. Jackson Takahashi started at first base. Takahashi is the starting pitcher today for Bison baseball, and Dayton Francis came in as a pinch hitter, had an RBI single and a ground out, so he was 1 for 2 in his pinch hit appearances last night. First pitch is bounced in the dirt. Jake Dempsey blocks it. seen all the different catchers across the first few games of this series. Yesterday we saw Brinkley, Evans, and Chance Green both in the lineup. Green doing the catching, Evans was DHing. Nolan Ackerman played the first game of the series, and then today it's Jake Dempsey behind the dish. Counts in the dirt 2-0, and something that we've talked about over the first 3 games of this series, and something that talked about when the Plainsmen came here. It's just tough to win when your roster is as small as both the Plainsmen and Bison Baseballs is. Sasquatch have the luxury of having 4 guys that can catch. Bison Baseball only has 20 players on their entire roster, which causes a lot of position players to be pitching, and when you do that, you really never know what you're going to get. Head coach Justice Scott doesn't know what he's going to get really out of Kyle Finn, but he's hoping for 1 inning and a 0. Counts 2-1. Now it's 3-1 on Dayton Francis with David Henry on deck. Bison have second and third with 2 out without a hit. Alex Everson's at third. He reached on a hit by pitch, and Aiden Hall walked. Kyle Finn, 6'7" on the mound. Big, tall pitcher. Misses up and in. So another walk. And without a hit, the bases are loaded with 2 men out. And it's David Henry, left fielder, who comes up trying to put the Bison Baseball on the board. It took them until the top of the 9th inning yesterday with 2 outs to score a run, trying to make it an early lead here in the top of the first inning and play from in front. Henry looks at ball 1. You got to imagine probably take until you get a strike at this point with Kyle Finn struggling to find the zone. Not a pitcher like we've talked about. You will see Kyle Finn as well in the lineup. He'll be cleaning up and DHing today, doing his best Shohei Ohtani impression. Look at Henry on the season. This is his 5th game played. In his previous 4, he's .444, .449 on the season. OPS above 1,000. 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Catches the zone there. Ball and 2 strikes. Kyle Finn looking to pick up his 3rd strikeout of the inning. Hasn't been the prettiest, but if he can rack up that 3rd out with a 0 on the board, head coach Justice Scott will more than take it. Here's the 1-2. David Henry gets just out of the way on a pitch just inside. An even count here on Henry. This is popped up and fouled away. Henry did not appear in last night's game. Saw him in the first game of this 3-game set where he had an RBI single to go along with a hit by pitch and 2 outs, so he was 1 for 3 in that game. 2-2 just stays alive, fouling this pitch back to the screen. Sasquatch do have Nathan Harb scheduled to come into this game out of the bullpen, and he can certainly go multiple innings. So he'll probably be working through a little bit of the bulk of this game. 2-2 from Finn. Chopped weakly in front of the plate. Dempsey will grab it, and he'll step on the plate to end the inning. The bases get loaded against Kyle Finn, but he works around the damage to put up a 0 to begin the ball game, and the Sasquatch bats will come up with no score. Here's the Sasquatch lineup here today. Matthew Gonzalez is back for a third straight day, and he will lead things off. Seth Nelson back in the lineup batting seconds. Patrick Rakes, he'll bat third. Kyle Finn, the pitcher, and DH today, bats fourth. Jordan Bowman in right field bats fifth. Ben Tate bats sixth. Micah Coleman seventh. Jake Dempsey, the catcher, bats eighth. And Danny Cook rounds out the order, and he is batting ninth. Sasquatch will try to continue their great offensive couple games against Bison baseball here over the first two games of this set. And they'll be going against Jackson Takahashi, starting pitcher for Bison baseball here today. We'll introduce you to him in just a moment. Start things off here facing Matthew Gonzalez, who is back in the leadoff spot. He can do it well with the glove, and as of late, he's been doing it with the bat. Rewarded with a third straight start. To lead things off, he goes after the first pitch and fouls it off. Takahashi has played in 4 games as a hitter. We saw him yesterday start as a hitter. Today, making his second appearance on the mound. His first came against the Oahe Zap out of the bullpen on the 4th of July, where he went 3 2/3 innings, allowed 1 run, it was earned. Struck out 3, gave up 3 hits, and walked 2. This pitch is fouled away along the right side, and it'll get out of play just in front of the Squatch box off the bat of Matthew Gonzalez. And Gonzalez, like talked about, a little bit slow start to the season with the bat. As he entered this 3-game set against Bison baseball, he was 6 for 42 on the season. And with a 5 for 7 day against the Bison 2 days ago and another hit last night, he's raised his season batting average to .226 on the year. Spoils of high fastball. So .226 batting average, a .555 OPS. And he scored 13 runs in 18 games played, and 10 of those runs have come in his last 4 games. Of course, when the team scores 23 runs and 16 runs and you're leading off, you're going to get a lot of runs. Gonzalez pops one in the air. Left field, not very deep. Henry makes the catch. 1 up and 1 down for Bison baseball here in the bottom of the first inning. I'll bring up Seth Nelson. Nelson got a couple days off. Today he is back in the lineup. Haven't seen him yet in this 2-game set. But he is one of the Sasquatch's premier bats, coming back for a second summer. He was with the team last year, and after a great year last year where he batted .351 and hit 5 home runs in 2023, he's come back this year. He's batting .377, has a home run and 19 RBIs. He's hit safely in 15 of 20 games played to this point. Takes outside there. He's also got some speed. He's 5 for 6 on stolen bases, which is only 1 shy of Ben Green's mark for team high, which is 6. Two balls and no strikes on Nelson. The infield shifting him to pull. As Nelson fouls this pitch off. The shortstop, Aiden Hall, is near the second base bag. He's not quite committed to playing on the right-handed side of the bag. I don't believe there are shifting rules in the ILB. So if he wanted to go across the bag to the right side of the infield, he could. He's playing pretty much up the middle. Center fielder Alex Everson shifted towards right center as well. 2-1. Again, it's fouled straight back from Nelson. Nelson, like talked about, there you see the full numbers on screen. 23 runs scored as well for him this season. Last year he played in 41 games with the Sasquatch. This is his 21st of the 2024 summer. 2-2 fastball is in the dirt, full count. I have to mention, of course, as well, the umpire jerseys. I'm not sure what the reasoning is behind the different pattern that they're wearing today, but gotta say I like it. Behind home plate from Corey Monroe, Ben Ayet standing along the first base line. Sort of a pink camo color scheme by both umpires today. It's the first time I've ever seen that worn by umpires here in the ILB. It'll be a full count pitch to Seth Nelson here in the bottom of the first inning. Pitch from Takahashi. Shallow center fields. Drifting back is Everson. He makes the catch. A couple flyouts are the first 2 outs of the bottom of the frame. We'll look at the Bison defense here. Behind Takahashi, Henry and Everson. We've seen them both make plays there in left center, and Mason Daniels is over in right field. Ethan Kang, Aiden Hall on the left side of the infield. Talon Field and Dayton Francis, the right side of the infield, with Mason Tassano doing the catching of Jackson Takahashi. So Gonzalez flew out to left, Seth Nelson flew out to center, and with another lefty at the plate, the infield shifts. So does the outfield on Patrick Rakes, who looks at ball 1. Rakes pulled a couple hits in last night's game. Hard hit balls both into center field and right fields. He leaves something over the heart of the plate. He does like to pull it. A lot of his hits last night went to that right side. 1-0 pitches down low, 2-0. Rakes, just like Seth Nelson, has been right there near the top of the Sasquatch team in terms of batting average. 364 entering today, an 882 OPS. He does have some power, a home run on the season, to go along with 22 RBIs and 18 runs scored. 3 balls and no strikes. Over his last 11 games as well, Patrick Rakes has hit safely in 10 of those 11, and he is batting .432 over that stretch with a .510 on-base percentage. He's 19 for 44 over his last 11 games. Heating up as of late. And looks at a 3-0 pitch on the corner for strike 1. Jackson Takahashi trying to shut down the Sasquatch offense in the first inning. The Sasquatch have been a potent first inning team in terms of offense this season. A lot of first inning runs, a lot of scoring first. Scored first in both of the first 2 games of this series with first inning runs. 2 to be exact. This is chopped to short, maybe not today, as the throw from shortstop by Aiden Hall is in time. The Sasquatch go down quietly in order in the bottom of the first inning. No score after 1 here at Black Hills Energy Stadium.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
Excitement? It's the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. With new games arriving every month, our selection of slot machines is the freshest in town. You can always find a game with our card tables open 24 hours a day. And parking is free and easy at the Lodge, with the area's largest free parking only steps away from our front door. Enjoy spacious and comfortable gaming at the Lodge at Deadwood, the locals' choice.
So Kyle Finn finishes off just the top of the first inning, and now they'll go to the bullpen for Nathan Harp, who has some ability to pitch a little bit deeper into this game. We'll look at what Nathan Harp has done this season. His last 2 appearances were as a starter, but 2-1 record, a 7.10 ERA. So he gets Mason Tassano to swing and miss there. You saw the numbers on screen. And Harp will try to work through at least 1 inning, but more than likely it'll be 2, as emphasized to me by head coach Justice Scott. Tassano loops one into right field. Jordan Bowman on the run, a sliding play. He doesn't make it. Goes off his glove and falls in. That'll be a base hit for Mason Tassano here to lead off the top of the second inning. Jordan Bowman not necessarily a right fielder, but was quick on his feet there to get to that ball in time, but couldn't make the sliding effort. Harb, his last time out was on July 2nd. He did start that game against Hastings, and he pitched 2 innings as a starter, gave up 5 runs, all of them earned. Struck out 3, allowed 6 hits, and walked a batter as well. Season numbers, the 7.10 ERA. Misses outside there. And when you've got Kyle Finn starting as a pitcher, but also in the lineup as a hitter, Nathan Harb is a little bit of a two-way guy as well. He did so in college. And then here with the Sasquatch, he got one opportunity on June 27th to hit against the Plainsmen. In the game, the Sasquatch won 26-6, and he came in as a pinch hitter, hit a home run and a double. He had 5 RBIs and 2 at-bats. So he can be a hitter as well, but he will not be. Kyle Finn will resume the rest of the day as a DH. 1-2, Colin Kleinsasser goes down on strikes. The pick over to first nearly gets Mason Tassano too far off the bag. They'll get just the 1 out. The strikeout by Nathan Harb is his first of the game. Kleinsasser is down on strikes for the first out. Now the 9-hole hitter, Talon Fields, rounds out the order. Field is at second base today. Last night he batted out of the 9th spot playing shortstop. And in the first game of the series, we saw him on the mound. So this will be his 3rd game played as a hitter. The other 2 games as a pitcher. Tassano led off the inning with a single. He's over at first base against the new pitcher, Nathan Harb. Lofted in the air, shallow center field, long run by Ben Tate. Can he get there in time? He cannot. Goes off his glove. He'll try to throw to second, but the throw is late. A single for Talon Field, a couple of balls into the outfield that go off the gloves of Sasquatch outfielders. And just like Jordan Bowman, Ben Tate is making his first start out at center field, so not necessarily known to be a outfielder. We've seen him now at third base, first base, left field, and today in center field. Tate's been playing a little bit of everywhere for the Sasquatch. So a pair of hits in the inning, and the lineup flips back over to the top with Ethan Kang. Kang looks at ball 1. Kang struck out to begin the ball game against starting pitcher Kyle Finn. Finn's day is done. Harb is in with no score in the top of the second. Finds the zone there. 1-1. Ethan Kang, a .250 batting average heading into today. He's 4 for 16, now 4 for 17 after his strikeout in the first inning. On base percentage up above 300 as well entering today. 1-1. Grounded, third base side. Danny Cook makes the play, goes to second. There's one on to first, the double play. Slick fielding by Danny Cook over at third. They turn it 5-4-3 to end the inning. And after the double play, still no score as we head to the bottom of the second.
Of uncontrollable laughter, comfortable silence, and new memories. And for 50 years, Super 8 has been there for wherever your journey takes you. So when the open road calls for a good night's rest, you can depend on Super 8's modern rooms at over 2,000 locations. Plus, earn Wyndham Rewards points for every stay. Super 8, one of 24 trusted brands by Wyndham. See you on the road.
Everywhere you need us to be, on the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region. and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
Let's take a look around the ILB, what's going on around the league here today. This is one of 3 games going on. The Casper Spuds and Hastings Sodbusters are in action, the 3rd game of that series. The Spuds currently lead it 3-0. That game is in the top of the 4th inning. Volmer on the mound for Casper, and it is Juden who's on the mound for Hastings. Then you got this game, of course, and also the Fremont Moo are in action against the Nebraska Prospects. That score is tied at 1 through 2 innings. PJ Laux is on the mound for Nebraska, while it is Simmons on the mound for Fremont. A lot of teams looking for wins here on a Wednesday afternoon. Sasquatch, one of those teams looking to do it. And with no score here in the bottom of the 2nd inning, after a 1-2-3 bottom of the 1st, I should say, by starting pitcher Jackson Takahashi. Now it'll be Kyle Finn. Got a little bit of a break after his start in the top of the 1st inning. He'll lead off 4, 5, 6 in the order. And he's hit by a pitch. So Finn is hit by a pitch to begin the bottom of the 2nd inning. And now, from one pitcher / position player to another, Jordan Bowman, who got the start in yesterday's game where he was brilliant, won the Landmark Realty and Development Player of the Game for his dominance on the mound, where he went 6 innings, didn't allow a run, gave up just 1 hit as yesterday's starting pitcher for the Sasquatch. And he powers one in the air to left field, high and deep. Going back on it is Everson on the track, at the wall. It is out of sight. Jordan Bowman, a 2-run shot in the bottom of the 2nd inning, gets the Sasquatch on the board from pitching in last night's game to a homer in today's. A shot off the bat of Bowman, and it's a 2-0 Sasquatch lead. Couple of two-way guys getting their chance in the spotlight here today. Jordan Bowman with his 2-run home run. It is his 3rd home run of the season, which ties him for a team lead with Lane Simon, Ben Green. And now a 2-0 lead for Spearfish as Ben Tate looks at ball 1. Tate on the season. He's getting a start in center field today, like we mentioned. A .250 batting average offensively so far. 15 RBIs, 19 runs scored. 2-0. Over the last 11 games for Tate, he's 11 for 41, so a .268 batting average, a little bit above his season numbers. He's got 8 RBIs and 9 runs scored as well over that 11-game span. Tate hits one in the air to left center field. This ball's got a chance. It's going back at the track, at the wall. It is out of sight. Back-to-back home runs. Bowman and Tate visit the left field fence in back-to-back at-bats. And a solo shot off the bat of Tate gives the Sasquatch a 3-0 lead. A little bit of a faster home run jog there by Ben Tate. It counts the same. A home run for the Sasquatch. They go back-to-back. It's Tate's 1st home run of the season. And Bowman and Tate go back-to-back to give a Sasquatch a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. And now it's Micah Coleman at the plate, who looks at ball 1. Coleman has been a great bat in this Sasquatch order as well. .387 batting average, and this is his 20th game played. His on-base percentage is above 500, OPS above 1,000, and he does have a home run on the season. Standing only at 6 foot, but when he hits the ball, it does fly off his bat. Bowman and Tate a little bit bigger in stature, but Coleman can hit it out just the same. So Takahashi behind in the count 2-0 after back-to-back home runs by Spearfish. Coleman hits one in the air to left field. This ball is headed towards the corner. Henry, in front of the warning track, dropped the ball. Coleman will go to second base. He will get there standing up. Coleman gave it a ride to left field, and it should have wound out as the first out of the inning, but Henry couldn't make the catch. An error in left fields results in Coleman standing at second base with still nobody out. So hit by pitch, 2-run homer, solo homer, and an E7 is how the bottom of the 7th inning begins against Jackson Takahashi. Now it's Jake Dempsey, the catcher. Dempsey 9 for 20 on the season. Started off, his very first appearance came as a pitcher, where he gave up 4 runs in an inning pitched. But since transitioning to a utility man and as a catcher, you saw the numbers, 450 batting average. He also, with an OPS above 1,000, 1.026. Cuts through that pitch. He's got 8 RBIs and 5 runs scored in just 7 games played. And joining a tandem like we've talked about of 4 catchers who can occupy the backstop, him, Brinkley Evans, Chance Green, and Nolan Ackerman all share time at catching duties. Takahashi's 1-1. Is grounded up the middle. That's going to get through. A base hit into center field. Coleman is being waved home. The throw will not come from Alex Everson, who has trouble with the ball from center fields. RBI single by Jake Dempsey. Coleman scores, and it's 4-0 Spearfish. So now the players will come together on the mound. First baseman Dayton Francis will talk with Jackson Takahashi and Mason Tassano. Sasquatch have done all this without recording it out. There should have been one in left field. The error should have been the first out of the inning. Instead it was an error that allowed Micah Coleman to reach. But either way, the Sasquatch bats have been out in full force after going down quietly in order in the first inning. You knew that wouldn't last long. The Sasquatch strike first with 4 runs in the bottom of the 2nd inning. And Danny Cook comes to the plate, the last man to see Jackson Takahashi for the first time, batting in the 9th spot in the order. Looks at ball 1. We saw him batting second behind Matthew Gonzalez the last couple days. What a luxury it is to have a guy like Danny Cook occupy the 9th spot in the order. We've seen both him and Ben Green share some time batting 9th, and both of them with batting averages close to 400. If your 9th guy in the order is doing that, you're primed for a playoff push. And Danny Cook is doing that in 17 games played. 382 batting average, 897 OPS. And he's played 17 games prior to this. In 8 of those games, he's had multiple hits. So just about half of his games, he records 2 or more hits. It's a strike on Cook. 2-1 the count. Sasquatch score first, and in games where they've scored first, they are 18-4 this season. 2-1 pitch is outside. Count 3-1 on Cook with Matthew Gonzalez, the leadoff man, due up next. Comes the 3-1 pitch from Takahashi. It is high, ball 4. So Cook, the 6th man to come to the plate in this inning, and the 6th man to reach. His walk moves Dempsey to second base, first and second. Still nobody out. And Matthew Gonzalez comes up for a second time today. Tim Dixon got the start for Bison baseball last night. He threw 113 pitches in 5 2/3 innings. The limit is 110. You can't start a new batter once you've surpassed 110. And if that limit wasn't in place, maybe Dixon goes even further than that. So he worked into the 6th inning, over 100 pitches. And so today, Takahashi trying to do that same thing. His pitch count already climbing up a little bit further than I'm sure Bison Baseball would like to see. This will be his 33rd pitch of the ball game. He's only set down 3 batters. This is high to Gonzalez. Gonzalez flew out to left field to begin the ball game. Takahashi set down the first 3 in order, but here in the second inning, different story. He had to record his first out. All 6 have reached. It's the 2-0. 3-0. Seth Nelson on deck, and Sasquatch have found themselves comfortable with the bases loaded in this 2-3 game set. Had the bases loaded almost every inning in the first game of this series. Had them loaded quite a bit last night. And a walk here would give them their first chance with the bases full in just the second inning. The 3-0 pitch is a ball, and so once again, bases full of Sasquatch. Back-to-back walks. A 4-pitch walk to Matthew Gonzalez. And Dempsey, Cook, and Gonzalez will all be aboard for Seth Nelson. But before that, we'll have a mound visit. 4 runs in the inning for Spearfish. A 2-run shot by Jordan Bowman, and then Ben Tate hit a solo shot to left field. Both of them almost the exact same spot over in left center. Gave the Sasquatch a 3-0 lead at that point. Micah Coleman hit a ball out to left field that probably should have been the first out of the inning. Was an error. And as a result, the next 3 have reached, and the bases have been loaded for Seth Nelson. Nelson flew out to center field. He hit the ball pretty hard out to center field, but nothing to show for it. Try to hit the ball hard here and maybe get something to show for it. It's been a fantastic summer for Seth Nelson. Trying to blow this game open here for Spearfish. The infield will again shift towards the right side, so a big hole in left field and in left center for Nelson if he can go the opposite fields. Takahashi finds the zone on strike 1. 36 pitches and 16 of them strikes for Jackson Takahashi to this point. 2 walks, 3 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned. Nelson's the 8th guy to come to the box in this frame. Look at the numbers there for Nelson. Another amazing summer. Last year, 351 batting average. This year, entering today, 377. Popped up left side, drifting towards the foul line and in foul territory. The catch is made by third baseman Ethan Kang. Nice effort there at third, and Nelson is retired on the pop out. First out of the inning keeps the bases loaded. And now the Sasquatch will officially bat around as Patrick Rakes will come to bat with Kyle Finn, who led off the inning, on deck. First pitch is up and away to Patrick Rakes, ball 1. Rakes grounded out to short in his first at-bat. A high chopping ball was fielded by Aiden Hall. Fouled away off the bat of Rakes. Mentioned what he's done this season. 364 batting average and a 438 on base percentage. He's played now, and this is his 26th game. This is the 36th for the Sasquatch as a team. And hoping it can be win number 23. This is low. 2 balls and a strike to Rakes. Mentioned the action going on around the ILB. This game sitting at 4-0. The Casper Spuds, after a couple close battles in Hastings today, doesn't seem like it'll be the same case. The Spuds have come out with a lot of offense, leading 7-0. That game's in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2-1 pitch to Patrick Rakes. It's popped up behind the plate, and it'll go into the stands, into the first row. Catch not made by the fan behind the plate. The other game going on today is the Fremont Moo and Nebraska Prospects, who are tied at 3. And that game is in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Takahashi looking for the second out of the inning after getting Nelson to pop up with the bases loaded, trying to keep them loaded here. Patrick Rakes at the dish. His 2-2 pitch is grounded to second, maybe a chance to turn 2. They'll go to second. They do get 1. There will be no relay to first. Rakes, an RBI fielder's choice, scores Jake Dempsey. Danny Cook advances to third. Gonzalez is out at second base. And the Sasquatch tack on another, and they lead it 5-0. Back to Kyle Finn, who on the very first pitch of this half inning was hit by a pitch, so he's only seen 1 pitch. And no official at bat yet, just the 1 plate appearance. Came around to score on the Jordan Bowman 2-run home run. Strike 1 to Kyle Finn. His offensive numbers, got to see him as a pitcher in the top of the 1st inning, getting the start. Offensively this season, another guy who's been hitting the ball really well, 327 batting average. And he's batting .391 with runners in scoring position, which is where he finds himself here with Danny Cook at third. Turns on this pitch and fouls it off. He's slugging .500, and that's in part due to 2 home runs and 13 extra base hits on the season. He's also got 32 RBIs, which is 3rd in the entire ILB, behind only Josh Phillips and Dylan Schlotterbeck of the Casper Spuds. Ground ball to third. It's fielded over there by Kang, and the throw to first retires Kyle Finn to end the inning. Sasquatch bring home 5 runs, 2 of them off of home runs. Back-to-back shots by Jordan Bowman and Ben Tate have given the Sasquatch a 5-0 lead through 2.
Jet Rogers at Peak Family Chiropractic and Sports Performance.
We all take different paths in life. That's why we utilize multiple different treatments here at Peak. Our main treatment is our high-level chiropractic adjustment, but we also emphasize the use of cupping, scraping, vibration massage, trigger point therapy, and active care to promote movement, strength, mobility, and most of all, pain relief. Why travel to multiple locations when you can have total wellness under one roof? Stop in today and let's get you to your peak.
Alex Everson fouls the first pitch off of Nathan Harb to begin the top of the 3rd inning. Harb now pitching with a lead. 5-0 is the score. And with Kyle Finn only going 1 inning, the Sasquatch win this game. Our baseball ops interns behind the scenes, Blake Boland, will have a fun time figuring out who to give the win to, as it is up to the official score to give it to the most effective reliever at that point. Ground ball is short. Coleman goes off his glove. He recovers. The throw to first is strong, but not in time. That'll be an error at short by Micah Coleman that allows Alex Everson to reach. That is how the top of the third inning begins. Everson is aboard for a second time in 2 at-bats. He was hit by a pitch in his first, and now an error at shortstop. And that'll bring up Aiden Hall. And when you look at the Sasquatch as a team, obviously the offense is there and in a big way as a team entering today. .317 batting average, which is best in the ILB, and as a pitching staff, 5.39 ERA, which is very respectable. Sets you up for a lot of wins if your pitching staff gives up 5 or 6 runs a game, maybe 7. The offense can certainly support it as this pitch is flied into right field. Jordan Bowman sizes it up and makes the catch, and Aiden Hall is out for the first out of the inning. Really, if you had to point to one weak spot of the Sasquatch team, it would be their defense. They've committed 60 errors entering today, which is an average of 1.76 errors per game. And as a team, their team fielding percentage of 95.2% entering today is second worst in the ILB among teams that qualify for the playoffs. So that's the Prospects, or pardon me, the Moose, Buds, Sodbusters, Zap, and of course the Sasquatch. Of those teams, the Sasquatch have the second worst fielding percentage. So if you had to point to one weak spot, it would be the defense. Micah Coleman's had some defensive struggles over at shortstop, as has Danny Cook, who occupies third base today. Cook made a really nice play on a double play in the top of the second inning. Runner goes on a ground ball to third. This will not be a double play because of the runner stealing. Cook still gets one at first base as Daniels grounds out. Everson ends up at second base. 2 outs in the inning, and Dayton Francis coming up. Dayton Francis gave you the numbers when he came up for the first time, and entering today, 5 RBIs, and with the team only having 11, he's supplied a lot of that this season, albeit a short start to the season. This is only the 6th game played for Bison baseball, looking for their first win of the summer after dropping all 3 on the road in Oahe and falling to the Sasquatch over the first 2 games of this set. Coleman ranges over at second base. I don't think Coleman applied the tag. If he did, he might have been able to get Alex Everson off of second base as Harb put it right on the money, and Coleman tried to swipe the tag, but I think he just missed Everson, and so that allows Everson to get back just ahead of the throw. Comes home with a 1-0 pitch, and this one is right over the bag and into center field. Ben Tate is coming up throwing. His throw from center field is cut off by Coleman. Everson will score from second. And Dayton Francis continues to be the RBI leader for this Bison team. His RBI single gets them on the board and cuts the deficit. It is just 5-1. That'll be an unearned run after Everson reached on an error. Ground ball is short. Coleman, a chance to redeem himself, picks it up on the backhand, and the throw to first retires David Henry. So 1 run does come in to score unearned after an error. And as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning, the Sasquatch lead it 5-1.
My favorite thing about Macero's, it's the staff. The culture is unlike anything I've ever experienced.
Spot On has greatly reduced the time our managers spend on scheduling. The biggest advantage is its tip management. At a touch of a button, it instantly allocates tip pooling and tip splitting.
Our employees love it that as soon as we've done the tip distribution, they can see what they made yesterday. It's real straightforward. What you see is what you get, and that's what you want working in a restaurant. And with Spot On, you've got everything there at the tip of your fingers.
Resort. When you're looking for the latest and greatest games, The Lodge is the place for you, as we are constantly updating our gaming floor with new and exciting games. There's always something fresh and fun at the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. Your home for the newest games.
So Jackson Takahashi will look for a bounce back inning here in the bottom of the third. Bison baseball getting their first run of the ball game in the top half of the inning. And Takahashi, after giving up 5 in the bottom of the second, where the Sasquatch brought 10 guys up to the plate, he'll now work through 5, 6, 7 in the order. Jordan Bowman, Ben Tate, a couple guys with home runs today, and Micah Coleman. Bowman, hard ground ball, third base side and past Kang, who dives towards the line, and it goes into left field. Bowman motoring for second base. He will get there with a slide. A homer and a double for Jordan Bowman. In 2 at-bats, a couple extra base hits, and a double. Leads off the bottom of the third inning and instantly gets the Sasquatch runner in scoring position. That'll bring up Ben Tate. Him and Bowman back-to-back home runs in the bottom of the second inning. On a couple pitches left at the top of the zone, Tate and Bowman both capitalized. Hit him out to left center field. For Tate, it was his first of the season. Watches a curveball miss upstairs. 1-0, the count to Tate. Gave you the numbers when he came up last time. Over his last 11 games, he was batting .268, which was a little above his season .250 batting average entering today. So he's been a little better over his last now 12 games. If you count today, foul ball goes right over top our press box. And Tate as well playing center field today. His 4th different position, third base, first base, left field, and center field. He's played them all to this point for the Sasquatch. Takahashi's 1-1 pitch is high. 2-1. It's mascot night here at the ballpark. We've got Samson, of course, as a mascot. We've got a lot of other mascots here at the ballpark. We have one from Black Hills University. We have Smokey the Bear. We have a couple other ones. I think there's maybe 8 or 9 of them in total. They all came out before this game started on the fields. Samson threw out the first pitch. Bowman takes off for third. The pitch is a ball, and Bowman will steal third. Takahashi wasn't holding him on at all. Bowman swipes the bag. Tate walks. And a double and a walk have the Sasquatch with runners on the corners with nobody out. Here against Takahashi in the bottom of the third inning. It's Micah Coleman, who reached on an error to left field. He hit a fly ball to left that was dropped down in left field by David Henry. Tate takes off for second base, and he will make it without a throw. Takahashi not holding runners on. A couple stolen bases in the frame for Sasquatch hitters, and now second and third with nobody out. And a guy who's been raking with runners in scoring position in Micah Coleman. 2 balls and no strikes. Coleman, a .400 hitter this season with runners in scoring position. Over half of his at-bats are quality at-bats, and he's hit safely in 15 of 19 games heading into today, trying to make it 16 of 20. 2-0. 3-0. Takahashi losing the zone here. 56 pitches on the day for Takahashi, as Mason Tasano will go out and talk with him. 56 pitches, only 26 of them have found the zone. To this point, he's allowed 4 hits. He's walked 3, 5 total runs, only 4 of them earned. Sasquatch brought home all 5 of their runs in the bottom of the second inning. Loaded the bases in that frame, something they've done a lot in the series and something they could do again for a second straight inning ahead of a 3-0 pitch to Micah Coleman. Coleman gets the green light and pops it up a mile high into shallow center field. The second baseman, Taylor Fields, settles under it to make the catch. Out number 1 in the inning, and the Sasquatch will keep runners at second and third. Catcher Jake Dempsey now bats. RBI single for Dempsey in the second inning in his first trip to the plate. Continues what's been a great abbreviated summer for him in terms of offensive opportunities. Counting his single in the second inning, he's only had 21 at-bats, but he's got 10 hits in those 21 at-bats. He's now up to 9 RBIs on the season and 6 runs scored. Counting today's numbers. Takahashi's 0-1. Blooped, second base, right to Fields, and a couple pop-outs to second, and a chance for Takahashi to get through this inning cleanly. He's retired Coleman and Dempsey, and now with 2 outs, it'll be up to Danny Cook to avoid leaving a couple runners stranded and in scoring position. Cook walked in his first at-bat in the second inning, where everybody came up at least once in the frame. Kyle Finn came up twice. Takahashi's first pitch to Danny Cook is fouled away. Cook over his last 4 games has 8 RBIs and 7 runs scored. He's got 19 runs scored on the season in 17 games played heading into today, so he's averaging over a run per game. He's also drove in 14 runs as well. But again, 8 of those RBIs have come over these last 4 games. Looking for a couple RBIs here with a base hit. Pitches inside. An even count here on the 9-hole hitter, Danny Cook. We're in the bottom of the third inning. The Sasquatch lead this one 5-1. Jackson Takahashi trying to work through his third inning. 1-1 on the way. Misses high. 2 balls and a strike to Cook. Bowman at third base, Tate at second. Bowman led off the inning with a double. Tate then walked, and they've been stranded for the past 2 batters. Cook on a 2-1 pitch is popped up again to second base. Fields has a chance to make all 3 outs, and he does. So after the first 2 batters reach for the Sasquatch, 3 straight pop-outs to second base, and the inning, Sasquatch do not score, and after 3 innings of play, they lead it by 4.
I want to shout out to the world so they know my sweet baby loves me so. She got me going, yeah, she turns me on. She loves me, yeah, she loves me, and it blows my mind.
Hey, nice strike.
Yeah, it blows my mind.
Sure is unlike anything I've ever experienced.
Spot On has greatly reduced the time our managers spend on scheduling. The biggest advantage is its tip management. At a touch of a button, it instantly allocates tip pooling and tip splitting.
Our employees love it that as soon as we've done the tip distribution, they can see what they made yesterday. It's real straightforward. What you see is what you get, and that's what you want working in a restaurant. And with Spot On, you've got everything there at the tip of your fingers.
Nathan Harb is back out there for another inning of work after Kyle Finn pitched the top of the first inning as the Sasquatch starter. Nathan Harb will try to work through a third inning. To this point, 2 innings pitched, 3 hits allowed. The 1 run was unearned. Hasn't walked anybody, and he has recorded a strikeout. Looking for another strikeout here with the beer batter Mason Tassano at the plate. Tassano singled off of Harb in the second inning. That was the first batter that Nathan Harb faced since coming out of the bullpen. And his 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed. A check swing and a swing and miss by Mason Tassano. That's the first out of the 4th inning, and that'll make the fans here even happier. It's a hot day at the ballpark, and so cheaper beer will surely make the people here a little bit happier. 7, 8, 9 in the order. Retired Mason Tassano, so now it's Colin Kleinsasser who hits one in the air to center field, pretty well struck. Ben Tate is going back. He's at the track. It's over his head and up against the wall. Throw comes into the cutoff man, Micah Coleman, and a long double off the bat of Colin Kleinsasser. It's 400 feet to dead center field, and he missed hitting that one out by maybe just about 10 feet. Sent it about 390 out to center field. It's a double off the bat of Kleinsasser. And now he's in scoring position for the 9-hole hitter, Talon Field. Field singled in the second inning. Looks at ball 1 outside. With the Sasquatch going with a bullpen game today, chance for Bison baseball to scratch across a couple runs and make this an interesting ball game. We saw the Plainsmen nearly get their first win of their summer come here against the Sasquatch as you look at the stats on field. And the Sasquatch ended up walking off the Plainsmen in one of those games in that series in the bottom of the 9th inning. Scored 2 runs to walk it off. So Bison baseball, they'd love to at least come close here today after the last 2 games not close. Today it's the closest it's been through the 4th inning. A 5-1 ball game, and Bison baseball threatening to tack on some runs in this frame. This Field looks at a strike there. Count goes to 3-1. The top of the order waits after him, Ethan Kang. And potentially the last inning of work for Nathan Harb as Field will walk, a single and a walk on the day, out of the 9th spot in the order. First and second with 1 man out. And we're back to the top of the lineup. It's Javier Marcial, who has started warming in the bullpen. Right now he's not throwing, but he's now just resumed. Harb has the ability to work 4+ innings. He started a couple games, so his job today was to be the bulk guy out of the bullpen after essentially a opener from Kyle Finn. First and second, 1 man out. Ethan Kang, who's 0 for 2 today. Strikeout and a 5-4-3 double play on Kang's line. Chops one over to third, and this is foul. Kang started off the season hot with a couple games out in Milwaukee. He's hitless so far over his first 2 games here in Spearfish. 0 for 7 with a walk over the first 2 games of this 3-game series. It's a 3-game series followed by another 2-game series on Saturday and Sunday between these 2 teams. Kangs looks at a slider outside, 2 balls and a strike. For Bison baseball, they'll go right back to Oahe after this series is done, Thursday and Friday. They'll go back to Pierre for a couple games, while the Sasquatch will have a couple days off. Rest some of their arms before they take on this team once again as Harb check in at second base on Kleinsasser. Kleinsasser and Field on the bases, with Ethan Kang at the plate in a 2-1 count against Nathan Harb. This will be the 35th pitch of the game for Harb. It's grounded to shortstop. Coleman will go to second. They get one there. There will be no throw to first. Fielder's choice for Ethan Kang. He reaches at first. Kleinsasser heads over to third. Field is out at second base. Runners on the corners, but 2 men out, with Alex Everson now at the plate. Everson's reached base both of his first 2 at-bats. This will not be Everson. Pinch hitter Nick Golden instead will bat. Everson was 2 for his first, or pardon me, he'd reached base both of his first 2 at-bats with a hit by pitch and an error. Instead, it'll be Nick Golden who gets the at-bat. This will be his 3rd game played. In his previous 2 as a hitter, he's 3 for 8 with a .375 batting average. He also has made a couple appearances as a pitcher, including a start 2 nights ago here at Black Hills Energy Stadium. This is up and in. Ball 1 to Golden. This is the 2 spot in the order for Bison baseball, trying to tack on a run here in the frame. Golden pops this one up on the infield. This should get the Sasquatch out of the jam. Cook drifting over towards shortstop makes the play from third, and that will keep Bison baseball off the board in the 4th. A 0 put up by Nathan Harb, and as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning, it's still a 4-run lead for Spearfish.
Health, orthopedics, and sports medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
And miles of uncontrollable laughter, comfortable silence, and new memories. And for 50 years, Super 8 has been there for wherever your journey takes you. So when the open road calls for a good night's rest, you can depend on Super 8's modern rooms at over 2,000 locations. Plus, earn Wyndham Rewards points for every stay. Super 8, one of 24 trusted brands by Wyndham. See you on the road.
Sports performance.
We all take different paths in life. That's why we utilize multiple different treatments here at Peak. Our main treatment is our high-level chiropractic adjustment, but we also emphasize the use of cupping, scraping, vibration massage, trigger point therapy, and active care to promote movement, strength, mobility, and most of all, pain relief. Why travel to multiple locations when you can have total wellness under one roof? Stop in today and let's get you to your peak.
Top of the order here in the bottom of the 4th inning, Matthew Gonzalez, Seth Nelson, and Patrick Rakes. Takahashi's first pitch is high, ball 1. Gonzalez a fly out and a walk today out of the leadoff spot in the order. Still a 5-0 lead for the Sasquatch thanks to some good pitching by Nathan Harb. Instead of Javier Marcial, it is Jackson Peters, who has begun loosening in the bullpen. I'd imagine head coach Justice Scott wants to throw his pitchers before he goes into the position players that could be available today. Peters is one of those pitchers. Gonzalez ground ball to third. Diving play by Kang. He gets to the feet. Throws a one-hopper to first, and it's not able to be dug out by Dayton Francis. Great defensive effort at third base by Ethan Kang to not only knock that ball down, but to get to his feet and make a strong throw to first base. Francis couldn't make the play. Probably will go down as a hit. The ball causing Kang to dive to make the play. Wait for an official scoring on that ball. In the meantime, Seth Nelson comes up. Fly out and a pop out today. Check in over at first base. Gonzalez is safe. Nelson fouls his pitch back. 0-1 the count here on Nelson, who's 0 for 2. Fly out and a pop out today. Gonzalez will get a hit for that ground ball, so it's his first hit of the day. Continues a good stretch for him over his past 3 games. It's his 7th hit in 3 games played. 5 hits 2 nights ago, a hit last night, and another hit here in this inning. Nelson pops this one up, first base side. Francis is going back on it, so is Fields from second base. Right at the foul line, he makes the catch. Nelson pops out. A lot of pop-outs to second base in this ball game. Talon Field has been busy. One away in the 4th. And it's Patrick Rakes coming up. Gonzalez takes off. Rakes fouls this pitch off. So Gonzalez will have to retreat back to first. Gonzalez is 1 for 1 on stolen base attempts this season. He was running. Sasquatch have stolen 2 bases today off of Tasano, but really they're not off of Tasano. They were more so off of Takahashi, as Bowman and Tate both got huge running leads. Takahashi already did pick off on Gonzalez to keep him close, and he'll do it again here. Forces Gonzalez back to the bag. Count remains 0-1 here on Rakes, who's grounded out to short and an RBI fielder's choice on a ground ball to second today. Ball and strike to Rakes. So a couple balls on the ground for Patrick Rakes. He hits a lot of line drives, though. Line drives into the outfield, into right center field, and down the right field line more specifically. Every now and then he'll flick one the opposite way, but the big 6'3" left-handed hitter does like to pull the ball. Fouls this pitch back. Ball and 2 strikes. Takahashi doesn't have a strikeout yet today. Another 2-strike count gives him a chance to get his first of the game going up against Patrick Rakes, and that's really been a theme over the first 3 games of this series. Bison pitching, struggling to strike out Sasquatch hitting. Even if they do get weak contact on balls in play, they've been struggling to get strikeouts. Rakes ropes one down the right side. Fouls it off. Sasquatch pitching, on the other hand, have been able to set down Bison hitters. One-two, there is the strikeout. Patrick Rakes does go down on strikes, the first of the game for Bison pitching. To finish the point, they had 4 strikeouts as a pitching staff in last night's game. And in game 1 of the series, they also only had 4 strikeouts. So that's only the 9th strikeout of this 3-game set for Bison pitching. Gonzalez takes off. The pitch is high. The throw nearly hits Takahashi on its way to second base. It goes off of the mound and is fielded by Talon Field over at second base. It's the third stolen base in as many attempts for Sasquatch base runners. As Gonzalez moves into scoring position with 2 men out and Kyle Finn at the dish. Another guy who's been hitting the ball really well with runners in scoring position this season, batting .391 heading into today. Left side, and that's through for a base hit just over the head of Ethan Kang over at third and inside the line. Finn is digging hard for second. Gonzalez scores. Finn is into second standing up with an RBI double. The batting average with runners in scoring position will go up even further. A 2-out RBI double off the bat of Kyle Finn, and the Sasquatch get one back. It's now 6-1. With a righty loosening up in the bullpen, that looks like that'll be the end of the line for starter Jackson Takahashi. Can't get that third out in this fourth inning, so he'll depart 3 2/3. Kyle Finn, the runner at second base, will be his responsibility, and he'll depart with the Sasquatch leading 6-1.
So they know my sweet baby loves me so. She got me going, yeah, she turns me on. And she loves me, yeah, she loves me, and it blows my mind.
Hey, nice strike.
Yeah, it blows my mind. She's my lover.
Jordan Bowman will be the first man that the new pitcher Alec Vincent will face here in the bottom of the fourth inning. The day is done for Bison starting pitcher Jackson Takahashi. They'll go to the bullpen for Alec Vincent, who comes over from the Oahe Zap. Played there to begin the summer, and now will come over with Bison baseball. We saw him last night behind the plate as a catcher. Misses on the first pitch to Jordan Bowman, the runner at second base. Kyle Finn, an RBI double. That was the last batter that Takahashi faced. So that runner is still Takahashi's responsibility. Vincent going against the power threat, and Bowman is 2 for 2 today, a homer and a double. And lines one up the middle, make him 3 for 3. That'll score Kyle Finn from second base. The throw comes in, it's cut off, and Bowman has his third hit of the ball game. A homer, a double, and a single. The RBI makes it 7-1. So 7-1 lead now for the Sasquatch. Bowman will be at first base. Alec Vincent will give you the numbers, him as a pitcher this season. 2 innings pitched, 1 run allowed. It was earned. He's issued 3 walks as well. And Tate lines one into right field. Back-to-back singles off of Alec Vincent as Tate goes the other way. It's his second hit of the ball game, and he's on base for a 3rd time. Bowman will go over to second base. So Vincent enters today with a 4.50 whip, or 4.50 ERA and a 2.50 whip. With a zap, he did not appear in any games as a pitcher. But here with Bison Baseball, getting a few opportunities on the mound. Here's Micah Coleman. Coleman looks at a ball in the dirt, blocked by Tassano. The book now closed on Jackson Takahashi, 3 2/3 innings pitched. 6 hits, 3 walks, strikes out 1, allows 7 runs, and 6 of them earned. Strike 1 now on Coleman. This one gets past Tassano. Both runners will advance on the wild pitch. Now 2 in scoring position for Coleman. Last time up when Coleman was at the dish, mentioned how good he's been with runners in scoring position. He entered today with a .400 batting average with runners in scoring position. Trying to get a hit here and bring home likely 2 if he does. Alec Vincent trying to stop the bleeding here in the 4th inning. His 2-1 pitch is low. 3 balls and a strike, and Jake Dempsey on deck. Missed again. So Vincent has come into the ball game, surrendered back-to-back hits and then a walk. All of this coming with 2 outs, and the base is now loaded. And Jake Dempsey, who will take off the catching gear and get ready to come to the plate, will get an opportunity with 2 away.
Yes.
Looking to put this game maybe out of reach here early on in this ball game. Still only the 4th inning, but a hit here which could clear the bases. Could give the Sasquatch a very comfortable lead in the bottom of the 4th inning. Dempsey's 1 for 2 today, an RBI single and a pop out to second base. Came up with the bases loaded in the 3rd inning. Or pardon me, it was 2nd and 3rd in that frame. Sasquatch didn't score. They left 2 on base after 3 straight outs. With runners on 2nd and 3rd, ended that inning. Ball and no strikes on Dempsey. Ground ball, left side. Kang, it goes off his glove and it'll skip into center field. Bowman will score. Tate is behind him. A couple runs come in off the ground ball to the left side of the infield. We'll see officially how that one is ruled. Probably will be an error at third base as the ball went off the glove of Ethan Kang and skipped into center field. Either way, 2 more runs in for the Sasquatch, who lead this one 9-1. So Danny Cook, the 9th man to come to the plate in this inning. It's the 2nd time today the Sasquatch have batted around. Coleman takes off and he steals 3rd. Dempsey didn't go. Runners on the corners after Coleman swipes 3rd. Another stolen base for the Sasquatch today. They're a perfect 4 of 4 in that department. This is lined into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit off the bat of Danny Cook. Scoring is Micah Coleman. And the RBI single has put the Sasquatch in double figures. It's their 10th run of the ball game, scoring Micah Coleman to take a 9-run lead. The ground ball as well by Jake Dempsey. That's ruled a 2 RBI single. So a couple more RBIs on the day for Dempsey, who's got 3. Dempsey now is at second base with Danny Cook at first. And we're back to where this inning began. Matthew Gonzalez up for a second time. Led off the inning with a single. Came around to score on Kyle Finn's double. Two balls and no strikes here. They count to Gonzalez. This is the 15th time this season, 15th time in 36 games that the Sasquatch have scored 10 or more runs. They are 12-2 in their previous 14 contests in which they get into double figures. Ground ball right side, this should do it. Fielded there by Field, and the throw to first will end the inning. Sasquatch bring home 5 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning. They bat around, and they'll carry a 10-1 lead to the 5th. Nathan Harb goes 3 innings, allows just 1 run. It was not earned, gives up 4 hits, 1 walk, and strikes out 2. The Sasquatch will go to a third pitcher today. It'll be Jackson Peters, who takes over here as we get set for the top of the 5th inning. We'll look at what Peters has done this season. 8 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 4 runs, 3 of them earned, so he'll carry a 3.11 ERA into today. He does have a win on the season as well. 1.96 whip, and the big thing for him is command. 10 strikeouts on the season, but he has walked 7. So see how the command fares in this outing, and if he can limit the walks, limit the hit by pitches, come right after these Bison baseball hitters, and try to pick up where Nathan Harb left off, which is putting up a couple zeros. Going 3 innings. Harb likely in line for a win today if the Sasquatch hold on. Peters will come in to face 3, 4, 5 in the order. Aiden Hall, Mason Daniels, and Dayton Francis here in the top of the 5th, with now the Sasquatch leading 10-1. They've done all of their damage in just 2 frames. The bottom of the 2nd and the bottom of the 4th inning, where they've scored 5 runs in each of those 2 frames. Peters' first pitch is grounded past Danny Cook into left field. 1 pitch, 1 hit. Aiden Hall begins the top of the 4th with a single. 1 run, 5 hits, 1 error for Bison today. 10 runs on 10 hits and 1 error for Spearfish. So here comes Mason Daniels. Strikeout and a ground out today. Hall is aboard now for a 2nd time in 3 trips. Big lead over at first. Chopped left side. Cook will make the play before it goes into foul territory and throw on to first to get Daniels. That was kind of an in-between ball, whether that ball was going to go into foul territory or not, but Danny Cook charging along the 3rd base line gets that ball over to first base to retire Daniels. Out number 1 as Hall moves to 2nd. That'll bring up Dayton Francis. Francis has had another good day at the dish. A walk and an RBI single. Leading the way in the RBI department for Bison baseball this season. Across the first now 6 games, he has basically half of the team's RBIs. With another one today, he's got 6 RBIs. The team has 12. Oh, 1 from Peters. Chopped weakly along the third base line and foul. See the funky arm delivery out of the hands of Jackson Peters, another sidearmer that the Sasquatch have in the back end of the bullpen. You've got him and Aiden Torpy, both guys throwing from that sidearm delivery. Torpy's had a phenomenal summer. Pitched in last night's game, the final 2 innings, gave up an unearned run, broke up the shutout late in that game. Peters trying to have the same success. Peters ahead of Francis, so too. Here's his pitch. Grounded, third base side. Coleman towards the 5-6 hole. The throw to first. Got him. Strong throw by Micah Coleman on a tough play to make. He gets Dayton Francis. It's the second out of the inning as Hall moves to third. So a runner on third for David Henry, who's 0 for 2 today. Couple ground outs for Henry. Grounded out to the catcher, Jake Dempsey, on a weakly hit ball with the bases loaded in the top of the first inning that got the Sasquatch out of that inning. And then he grounded out to short in the third. Pitch from Peters misses outside. The best pitch, I think, for Jackson Peters is when he can run the fastball in on the hands of righties and sort of get that two-seam action tailing into the hands of righties. Really tough to hit. Could break a lot of bats that way. A lot of weak contact, though, in this inning. Ground balls to the left side. Another weakly hit ball, tapped right to Peters. He'll throw to first. Nelson a little bit off the bag, but he applies the tag. And that will get the Sasquatch out of the inning. A leadoff single by Aiden Hall. He's left stranded. And after the top of the 5th inning, Sasquatch will carry a 10-1 lead to the bottom half of the frame.
Health, orthopedics, and sports medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
Nelson to lead off the bottom of the 5th inning, and I think this is the first time today we've seen Nelson in the field this summer. He's been basically DHing every game he's played, and I think this is the first time we saw him in the field. Made a play over at first base to finish off the top of the 5th inning. With Kyle Finn, he can't play first, pitch, and DH, so he's DHing, and he started out as the pitcher, Seth Nelson playing the fields, and he leads off the bottom of the 5th. Nelson, Rakes, and Finn, 2, 3, 4 in the order. Going up against Alec Vincent. Take a look around the ILB as well. What's going on out in Hastings right now? The Spuds still in a commanding lead. It is now 9-0. Casper in front. That game's in the top of the 7th inning. The Spuds are looking to win their 21st game in a row and take 3 in a row against the Sodbusters. Meanwhile, out in Fremont, the Moo currently leading the Prospects 8-3. That game is in the top of the 6th inning, as Fremont looking to keep pace with the Sasquatch, who look to both get a win today. Nelson walks on 4 pitches. That's how the 5th inning begins. I'll bring up Patrick Rakes. Rakes looks at ball 1, a ground out, an RBI fielder's choice, and a strikeout on the day for Rakes. With a runner aboard and nobody out. Check in a Nelson at first base. Mentioned Nelson has some speed. Might not look like it, 6 foot, 210 pounds, but as Ryan Bachman described, he runs like he's angry at the ground. I think that's a good way to describe it. Runs hard every time, and he's got 5 stolen bases in 6 attempts this season. Rakes fouls it back to the screen. Rakes looking for a hit today. Doesn't have one yet. Entering today, hits in his 10 of his last 11 games. Trying to make it 11 of 12 if he can get one today. Nelson takes off for second base. There will be no throw. Slides in, didn't need to, but he still does. Takes second. Sasquatch are 5 of 5 now on stolen bases today, and Nelson has his 6th of the year, ties him for a team lead, along with Ben Green and Kyle Finn. Rakes looks at strike 2, an even count on Patrick Rakes. Alec Vincent still out there for Bison baseball. The outfield's heavily shading him to the right side. If you look to center field, there's nobody there. You have to look to right center to find Nick Golden. Pitch outside, full count. Right fielder Mason Daniels playing deep in right field, and there's a huge hole in left center above the head of Aiden Hall in the left center gap if Patrick Rakes decides or can hit one the other way. Full count pitch from Alec Vincent. Rakes watches it drift outside. Back-to-back walks to begin the inning. Here comes Kyle Finn. Hit by pitch his first time up, a ground out and an RBI double. He's been on base 2 of 3 times. Also has 1 run driven in and has scored 2 runs. Finn looks at ball 1. Cleanup hitter today. Starting pitcher, DH. First time we've seen a Sasquatch pitcher also hit. Jordan Bowman has been doing both for the whole summer, pitching and hitting, but in separate games. But a bullpen day today for the Sasquatch, and something you'll see as well moving forward for these next couple games. I talked with head coach Justice Scott about the bullpen day today, and he said the plan is for this same sort of thing to happen again on the weekend when the Bison baseball come back here for Saturday and Sunday. The point of that is to try to give Russell Peterson and Cade Bleeker a little bit of extra rest heading into the series against the Zap. Those are their top 2 starters down the stretch, and of course the games down the stretch when they're taking on Fremont and Casper, those are going to be the big games the Sasquatch are going to need to win. Feels comfortable rolling out a bullpen game against Bison, and so far it's worked so well. Kyle Finn walks on 4 pitches. The bases are loaded with nobody out. Fans come out for Luau Night coming up on July 13th when Sasquatch take on Bison baseball once again, presented by American Family Insurance, Deval and Gillette. We'll be celebrating Luau's here at the ballpark. Alec Vincent on the mound, and we're going to get a mound visit here ahead of the at-bat to Jordan Bowman. There's nobody loosening in the Bison bullpen, but that doesn't mean necessarily that they can't take Vincent out of the game. We saw yesterday, even despite nobody loosening in the bullpen, they pulled an infielder, and this time they won't pull an infielder, they'll pull an outfielder. So it'll be David Henry, who comes in from left fields, and also coming out of the dugout is Bryce Gamble. So we'll see how this all shakes out. We'll introduce you to the new pitcher with the bases loaded in the bottom of the fifth when we come back.
Health, orthopedics, and sports medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
I wanna shout out to the world so they know my sweet baby loves me so. She got me going, yeah, she turns me on. And she loves me, yeah, she loves me, and it blows my mind.
Hey, nice try.
Yeah, it blows my mind. She's my lover.
New pitcher on the mound for Bison baseball. It's David Henry, who comes in from left field. He'll take over on the mound. Isaiah Brandt comes into the ballgame. He will take over in left field. Those are the defensive changes for Bison baseball ahead of a bases loaded, nobody out opportunity for Jordan Bowman, who swings and misses. A 2-run home run to go along with a double and a single for Jordan Bowman. And that tells the story. He is a triple away from the cycle. Looks at strike two, nothing into the count. Bowman has scored 2 runs. He's driven in 3. 2 of them came off the home run, the other off the RBI single in the 4th inning. 0-2. Grounded, left side, that's through for a base hit. Nelson will score. Rakes is held at third. 4-hit ball game for Jordan Bowman. He's got 4 RBIs. Single scores Seth Nelson, and the bases will remain loaded for Ben Tate. This is the first pitching appearance of the season for David Henry. He'd played in 4 games. This was his 5th game as a hitter, but came right in out of left field to take over as a pitcher. After Alec Vincent struggled on the mound, he came in with 2 outs in the 4th inning, and so he only records 1 out today. This pitch goes all the way back to the screen. Nelson won't try to, Rakes won't try to score. So Alec Vincent only gets 1 out. Goes a third of an inning today. Book not yet closed on him. Runners at second and third, Kyle Finn and Patrick Rakes, are his responsibility. Counts 3-0 on Tate. And this is just what happens when you've got a small roster, rolling out position players who don't even get really time to warm up in the bullpen. Just never know what you're going to get when they come into the ball game, whether they're going to be able to find the zone or not. There's a strike to Ben Tate. He does find the zone there on a 3-0 pitch. 3-1. Way up and away. It's an RBI walk for Ben Tate. He's aboard for a 4th time today. Patrick Rakes comes in to score that run charge to Alec Vincent. And now the bases will be loaded with Kyle Finn at third, Jordan Bowman at second, and Ben Tate at first. Micah Coleman at the dish. 12-1 ball game now for the Sasquatch. Still nobody out in the frame. Another pitch out of the hands of Henry, nowhere close. So the Sasquatch with 12 runs today. They put up 23 runs in game one of this series, 16 runs yesterday, and now 12 runs here today. This pitch gets past Tasano. Again, the Sasquatch will not try to move up anywhere on the base paths. After this inning is over, in the bottom of the fifth inning, we're going to keep it right here on YouTube. Instead of going to a commercial break, we'll have a dance performance by Kids & Co. The second time that they will be dancing on the fields. We saw them at Ladies' Night, and we'll see them again here after this fifth inning is over. I'm not sure how long that'll be, though, as another 3-ball count. 3 pitches nowhere close to Micah Coleman here, who's got to be taken all the way. Coleman's been on base 2 of 3 times today. He walked his last time up in the 4th, and he'll walk again on 4 pitches here in the 5th. Give him an RBI on the walk. Kyle Finn comes in to score, and that will officially close the book on Alec Vincent. All 3 of the inherited runners end up coming in to score, and so the final line on Vincent here today, he goes just a third of an inning, and he gives up 6 runs, all of them earned. Dempsey with a green light fouls the first pitch off. Dempsey skies it in the air to right field and foul. 0-2 on Dempsey. So the 7th guy to come up in this frame, all without an out to this point. Chance for a strikeout to get the first out. The 0-2 pitch that hits Dempsey. Another RBI without having to record a hit. The hit by pitch will score Jordan Bowman. The bases remaining full. Ben Tate will be at third base, Micah Coleman will be at second, and Jake Dempsey at first base. The Sasquatch have 1 hit in this inning. They've scored 4 runs, and they have the bases loaded. The lone hit was an RBI single by Jordan Bowman. Danny Cook looks at ball 1. Cook a walk, a pop out, and an RBI single today. This is bounced in the dirt. Go back to the screen. Henry just can't seem to find the zone here. He's now thrown 17 pitches and only 6 of them for strikes since coming into the game. He's given up 2 walks, 1 hit. And now with Vincent's runners all coming in to score, everything his responsibility this point forward. It's in there for a strike, 2-1 on Cook. Sasquatch have already batted around twice this game. They did it in the 2nd and in the 4th. They scored 5 runs in both of those innings, as their damage has come in clumps today. Nothing in the 1st, nothing in the 3rd, but 5 in the 2nd, 5 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th, and threatening for a lot more. Ground ball, left side, that is through and into left field for a base hit. Another run comes in to score. It's Ben Tate. The RBI single off the bat of Danny Cook extends the Sasquatch lead and keeps the bases loaded. 2nd RBI of the game for Danny Cook. 2nd hit as well. And all Sasquatch here on Wednesday afternoon in a 15-0 ball game. Matthew Gonzalez comes up. Saw pitchers come in to hit in yesterday's game. Or check that, not yesterday, but 2 days ago, in the first game of the series, we saw a couple pitchers come in. That is a balk. And that's going to score Micah Coleman from third base. Everybody's going to move up 90 feet. As Dempsey goes over to third, Danny Cook goes over to second on the balk. On the mound by David Henry. Gonzalez, the ninth guy to come to the plate. The Sasquatch have batted around once again. Henry just cannot find the zone here. Another ball to begin the at-bat to Gonzalez. It's this bottom of the fifth inning. Bison baseball still trying to get the first out of the frame, and Henry cannot find the zone. It's tough to get that first out with him not being able to do it. This pitch is outside, 3-0. Second and third, nobody out. 5 runs in the frame for the Sasquatch. Threatening for more on a 3-0 pitch. Gonzalez taking the whole way. He looks at strike one to make it 3-1. Seth Nelson's spot in the order is due up next. The 3-1 pitch is a strike, full count. So Henry's been in a couple 2-strike counts, but he hasn't been able to get a punch out or get that elusive first out of the inning. See if he can do it here on a 3-2 pitch to Gonzalez. It's grounded to second base. Backhanded by Fields. The throw to first. They do get Gonzalez. The RBI groundout scores Jake Dempsey. Another run in the inning. But finally, the first out of the frame as Gonzalez grounds out. 16-1, Sasquatch in front. Back to Seth Nelson. Earlier in the frame, he walked. He led off the inning, so he is coming up for a second time. This one nearly hits him. He gets out of the way of it just in time. Ball 1 to Nelson. Nelson was 0 for 3 before the walk in this frame. Every Sasquatch hitter has reached base today, and this fly ball into center fields is the second out of the inning. Golden makes the catch. Scoring easily from third is Danny Cook. Another run in, second out of the inning on the RBI sac fly from Seth Nelson. And not only has every Sasquatch batter reached base today, but every Sasquatch batter has also scored a run. All 9 starters have come around to score today. Several guys scoring 3 runs already today. Finn, Bowman, Tate, and Coleman have all scored 3 times in today's game. Sasquatch as a team have scored 18 runs. This pitch is in the air to right center field. The marathon bottom of the 5th inning will conclude with a fly out to right center field, caught by Golden. And after 5 innings of play, with 8 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning, the Sasquatch lead this ball game 18-1. And we will take a brief pause in the action, but not a pause here on YouTube, as we will get a dance performance on the field by Kids and Co. So keep it right here on YouTube to watch the dance performance. Stick around, it's coming up in a few minutes.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
Is everywhere you need us to be, on the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever, getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
In sports performance.
We all take different paths in life. That's why we utilize multiple different treatments here at Peak. Our main treatment is our high-level chiropractic adjustment, but we also emphasize the use of cupping, scraping, vibration massage, trigger point therapy, and active care to promote movement, strength, mobility, and most of all, pain relief. Why travel to multiple locations when you can have total wellness under one roof? Stop in today and let's get you to your peak.
Julio Romero is the new pitcher in the ballgame for the Sasquatch. He takes over from just one inning of Jackson Peters. We'll take a look at Romero, what he's done so far this season. 8 2/3 innings pitched for Romero. He's given up 10 runs, 9 of them earned. So he's got a 9.34 ERA entering today, a 2.19 whip. And similarly to Jackson Peters, control issues can be a thing for Julio Romero. He's struck out 7, but also walked 7. See what version of Romero we get here today. Good start there on a first pitch strike to Mason Tassano. Single and a strikeout on the day for Tassano. 1 for 2. 7, 8, 9 in the order for Julio Romero. Fourth pitcher into the ball game. This is fouled straight back. Hope you enjoyed the dance performance there between innings from Kids and Co. The second time they've been on the fields performing a dance routine for fans here at the ballpark and their families. Pretty good crowd here on hand for mascot night. Tassano is also the beer batter. He struck out in the 4th inning, so Romero trying to deliver a second beer batter strikeout. See if he can do it on the 0-2. He can. Tassano is down on strikes. He goes down looking to begin the top of the 6th inning. 1 up, 1 down for Julio Romero. So Kyle Finn started off this ballgame. Harb went 3 innings. Peters pitched the 5th, and now we've got Julio Romero on the mound. 4th different pitcher working through a 6th frame for the Sasquatch. The only run given up was unearned, and it was charged to Nathan Harb. Well, sort of charged, unearned, but happened while he was in the ballgame. That'll wake you up there on a pitch up and in. So this is Isaiah Brandt. Because of the change on the defensive side of things, when Henry came in from left fields to come in as the pitcher, Brandt came in to replace Henry out in left, which caused the Bison team to lose their DH. So this would have been Colin Kleinsasser's spot as the DH, but instead it's now the left fielder, Isaiah Brandt. Checked his swing, didn't matter, it was a strike. Kleinsasser had a 1 for 2 day before this, a double to go along with the strikeout. His day is done. First at bat for Brandt, who we've seen already in this series. Cuts through that pitch. Saw Brandt as a pitcher in game 1 of the series, so went 2 2/3 in that first game. Line drive, and that'll get over the head of Gonzalez and drop into right center. First at bat of the day for Isaiah Brandt. It's a single. A one-out hit gives Bison a base runner here in the 6th against Romero. And now the 9th spot in the order, which was Talent Fields, will be another pinch hitter. It'll be Joel Beaver. Comes in to pinch hit. Beaver in on the hands. He bounces one to Romero. He'll underhand toss over to first, and Beaver is retired on the ground out. Brandt heads over to second. Back to the top of the lineup we go. Ethan Kang up for a 4th time. Strikeout, double play, and a fielder's choice for Kang out of the leadoff spot. Romero's pitch is in there for a strike. (18-1) Sasquatch in front. Starting to cool off at the ballpark. 8:13 now local time as Romero not holding on Brandt. He'll take third uncontested on the stolen base. Moves up 90 feet closer. Sunset usually hits us around 8:40. It was a hot day here at the ballpark. Well above 80 for first pitch, but now cooling off to about 80 degrees with the sun going down. This is chopped weakly to second. Gonzalez with plenty of time. Throws on to first to finish off the 6th. Another 0 put up by Sasquatch pitching. Julio Romero gets the job done, and the Sasquatch bats will come back up comfortably in front, 18-1.
Health, orthopedics, and sports medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines to support our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to make an appointment. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. Monument Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
New games every month at the Lodge. We are constantly updating our gaming floor with the latest fun games to keep our guests entertained with new games every month. For the freshest selection of slot machines in town, make the Lodge at Deadwood your gaming destination. The locals' choice for gaming excitement with the newest games is the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort.
Four, 5, 6 for Spearfish to begin the bottom of the 6th inning. Kyle Finn, Jordan Bowman, Ben Tate, first pitch swinging. This gets past Ethan Kang over at third. First pitch single for Kyle Finn. It's his second hit of the ball game, and he's on base for a 4th time in 5 trips to the plate. And after the Sasquatch scored 8 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning, picking up where they left off of David Henry, who's still out there on the mound. Defensive changes for the Bison. It's just the one. Joel Beaver remains in the game and takes over at second base for Talon Fields. Ball gets back to the backstop, and the Sasquatch remaining courteous. They're not advancing on any wild pitches from this point on. Even though Finn could have taken second base there, they're not going to. Focus on just keeping the guys at the plate. Bowman hits one in the air to left center field. Pretty well struck. Back on it goes Golden. He's still back. It's over his head. Bowman was a triple away from the cycle heading into that at-bat, and he's going to try to head for third. The throw comes into third. He is out. It'll be an RBI double. Kyle Finn comes in to score, and Jordan Bowman will not get the cycle with that at-bat. It is his 5th hit of the ball game. An RBI double gives the Sasquatch another run, but he is out at third base for the first out of the inning. Oh, so close to the cycle. Bowman now on the day, 3 doubles and 2 singles, 4 RBIs. He's also got a home run. Check that, sorry. He's 2 doubles, 2 singles, and a home run. First pitch strike to Nolan Walfelt, who's coming in to pinch hit. This was Ben Tate's spot in the order, so the pitchers have come into the ballgame to start hitting. Grounded to third. Walfelt's digging hard for first base. It's bobbled there by Kang. Walfelt will reach. Walfelt ends up reaching on the error. 1 out. And 1 ball and no strikes. The count now to Micah Coleman. Coleman looks at a pitch on the outside corner to even the count. In the dirt. This is the 5th at-bat for Coleman. Reached on an error his first time, then he popped out. In his last 2 at-bats, he has walked. So he's been on base 3 out of 4 times, but doesn't have a hit to this point. Trying to get his first base hit of the game. Prior to today, he's hit safely in 15 of 19 games. And now he's hit safely in 16 of 20. He pokes one through the right side. Coleman aboard with a single. Walfelt over to seconds. First and second, 1 away for Jake Dempsey. 19-1 Sasquatch in the lead, and their franchise record, ILB record, a tied mark of 26 runs. They almost broke that number in game 1 of the series when they put up 23. Dempsey powers one into right center field. This is going to be a long run for Daniels. He won't get it from right. Walfelt will come around to score. Coleman will go to third. Dempsey cruises into second base. RBI double for Jake Dempsey, and the Sasquatch have 20 runs in the ball game. And we're still just in the bottom of the 6th inning. It'll be second and third with 1 away. And Danny Cook, the 9-hole hitter, hits one into right field. That ball is fair. Hit the chalk along the first base line. Coleman will score. Dempsey will score as well. And Cook will stop at second base with a double. 2 more runs in for the Sasquatch, make it a 22-1 lead for Spearfish. 4 RBIs on the day out of the 9th spot in the order for Danny Cook. And back to the top of the lineup we go. The only out in this inning was the out at third base, where Jordan Bowman tried to stretch a double into a triple and was thrown out. This is bounced in the dirt. Ball and no strikes to Gonzalez, leadoff hitter. has just one hit on the ball game today. It was his single in the 4th inning. Out of Sasquatch starters, only Seth Nelson and Patrick Rakes do not have hits today. And it doesn't look like Nelson will have a chance to get a hit. So we've got a pinch hitter in the on-deck circle, another pitcher getting ready to enter this ball game. More than likely, 2 balls and no strikes. Is the count here to Gonzalez. Every Sasquatch starter today has an RBI and has a run scored. This is grounded on the right side, and this is just foul. Just to the right of the bag. My eyes could be wrong, but I think that's Ben Green who's coaching first base. And I think that's Seth Nelson who's coaching third base. Grounded to second. And this will get past Beaver and into right fields. Cook will come in to score. An error at second base brings home the 23rd run of the ball game for the Sasquatch. Gonzalez reaches on the E4. Cook in to score. And the Sasquatch inching closer to breaking their runs in a game record. Instead of Seth Nelson, he's coaching third base. He can't hit. Andrew Argenziano will come in to hit. A pitcher getting the opportunity to swing the bat. This will be his first opportunity as a hitter this season, and he hits one into right field. There's a base hit. Andrew Argenziano, a clean single into right field. Goes after the first pitch he sees, aggressive. And in his pinch hit opportunity, gets a base hit. Micah Wallett was about to come up to pinch hit for Patrick Rakes, but it looks like he'll have to wait. As Bison will go to the bullpen. Day is done for David Henry. Bryce Gamble is coming in. We'll see if he comes in to pitch or if he comes in to play first. Looks like he's going to come in to play first. And Dayton Francis will be the new pitcher. No. Yes, Dayton Francis is the new pitcher. We'll introduce you to him when we come back.
My favorite thing about Macero's, it's the staff. The culture is unlike anything I've ever experienced.
Spot On has greatly reduced the time our managers spend on scheduling. The biggest advantage is its tip management. At a touch of a button, it instantly allocates tip pooling and tip splitting.
Our employees love it that as soon as we've done the tip distribution, they can see what they made yesterday. It's real straightforward. What you see is what you get, and that's what you want working in a restaurant. And with Spot On, you've got everything there at the tip of your fingers.
So untamed.
Back a little sooner than we anticipated, and that's because new pitcher in the ball game, Dayton Francis, is not going to take any warm-up pitches. He's just going right in. Cole's facing Micah Wallett here instead of Patrick Rakes. Wallett looks at ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes the count. Defensive changes. Moving from right field to first base is Mason Daniels. And taking over in right field is David Henry. 3-0. The count to Wallett. Kyle Finn's spot is due up next. .30 green light and a foul ball. Score update out in Hastings. Casper Spuds currently lead the Sodbusters 11-2. That game is in the top of the 9th inning as Wallett draws a walk. And the bases are loaded with 1 away. Here with Kyle Finn coming up. So the Sodbusters look like they will fall for a 3rd straight game to the Casper Spuds, who will extend their winning streak to 21 with another win. And with a Sasquatch win today, they'll improve to 23-13, 2nd place in the ILB. Sodbusters would fall to 21 and 15, so they'd be a whole 2 games behind the Sasquatch. Fremont Moo entered today at 21 and 14, and they're currently playing the Nebraska Prospects and winning that ball game 9-5. That's in the top of the 8th. Nebraska currently hitting, so the Moo have a chance to surpass the Sodbusters and move into third place in the division. Sole possession of third place, behind only the Sasquatch for that second spot in the championship series, as Kyle Finn taps this ball foul. So the bases are loaded. Matthew Gonzalez at third, Andrew Argenziano is at second, and Michael Wallette is at first. Apologize, our center field camera. We will not be having that the rest of the way. Trying to set up another camera here to give you a better look at the pitches than just the one up here in the press box. So we'll have another camera online shortly to give you a better view. 1-2. Finn fouls it off. Mentioned Dayton Francis is in as the new pitcher. This is his first pitching appearance of the summer for Bison baseball. And Kyle Finn goes down on strikes. The second out of the inning. And the bases remaining loaded for Chance Green, who comes in as a pinch hitter for Jordan Bowman. This will be fun to see how the defense changes. I'm not sure anybody's going to remain at their right position or their starting position after this half inning is done. This is bounced in the dirt. Ball 1-2, Chance Green. So this inning began with Kyle Finn. He led off the inning with a single. The Sasquatch have batted around for a 4th time today. 2 balls and no strikes. Bowman finishes the day 5 for 5. A homer, 2 RBIs, and 2 singles. 5 RBIs and 3 runs scored, but no cycle. Chance Green looks at ball 3. Green is a real hitter in the sense that he hits and doesn't pitches, unlike Andrew Argenziano or Nolan Walfelt, who we've seen pinch hit in this frame. Green entering today a 200 batting average on the season in 17 games played. He started last night's game as the catcher. Breaks his bat on a ground ball to third base. Bat goes flying further than the ball did, and the throw to first retires Green. Bottom of the 6th finally done. Sasquatch bring home another 5 runs in the frame, and after 6 innings of play, they lead it 23-1, and the head coach is coming out to head over to the dugout, and judging by the body language, he might be ready to call this ball game. We're going to keep it right here in case that is the case, as he's walking over to the Sasquatch dugout right now. I think he's trying to find head coach Justice Scott, and now he has found him. Or has he? There he is. They'll make contact here, and I mean, the Sasquatch look like they want to play. Lane Syme was scheduled to come into the ball game, but like we've talked about, Bison baseball has such a small roster. They've only got 20 guys. This might be the end of the line for Bison today. They've got to go on the road to Oahe as well. So, I mean, the limited amount of pitching that they have, I think they might want to save those guys. And realistically, the Sasquatch, there's no reason for them to continue this ball game. They don't need the guys to get opportunities to hit. Lane Syme was going to come in to pitch. So I'm not sure if this game's going to continue or not. In the event that it is called, we're going to just stay right here. I'll keep filling some time here. Get a look at Justice Scott there on the first baseline having that conversation. They're continuing to talk. Lane Syme's continuing to warm up. Waiting for an update. It's a long conversation. Could be about other things, but my assumption is that they're talking about the rest of this ball game. It is only the 6th inning as well. I mean, this is still 3 more innings of baseball these teams would have to go through. That's a lot of pitching, and with guys that are having trouble throwing strikes, wouldn't be surprised if They wanted to call the game, but doesn't look like they will. Head coach Justice Scott has finished the conversation. Maybe now they'll run it by the umpires to see what they think about it. Head coach Justice Scott having a conversation with home plate umpire Corey Monroe right now. Meanwhile, over at first base, Ben Ayet talking over there. Looks like we're going to continue. So after all that, I could have been reading too far into it. Who knows? We'll find out after the game. Lane Syme is going to pitch on the mound. Maybe they're considering ending the ball game after this half inning. It remains to be seen. Either way, Lane Syme is on the bump. And Nick Golden will lead things off. First pitch fastball high and inside. 86 off the hands of Lane Syme. Syme is an outfielder. This is his first appearance as a pitcher. Getting an opportunity in the top of the 7th inning. Head coach Justice Scott said to me before the game that him and Javier Marcial's already been able to pitch in a game this season, but Syme has been bugging him to get into a ball game. And so finally he'll get his chance. 2-0 fastball past Nick Golden. There's strike one. There's a lot of defensive substitutions for the Sasquatch. Chase Scott is in at first base, so he takes over there. Second base remains Matthew Gonzalez. Shortstop remains Micah Coleman, and third base remains Danny Cook. And then in the outfields, Ben Tate has moved from center to left. Michael Wallett has come into the game to stay in center. Or check that, Chance Green has moved from center to left. No, Chance Green has come into the ball game. He's now in left. Michael Wallett has come in to stay in center, and Nolan Walfelt is now in right. Looped into shallow right center field. There's a base hit off the bat of Golden. He's going to hustle hard for second base. The throw comes into second. It is high and in time. Not sure the throw beat him there to the bag. Maybe he came off the bag, but looked like the throw was late. Either way, Golden has a single, and he's out at second base trying to stretch it into a double. It's the first out of the inning. Aiden Hall bats now. Teams are chirping at each other right now. And it's tough in a ball game like this, emotions running high. 2-0 on Hall. Line drive, center field. Wallett towards right center makes the catch. 2 up and 2 down thanks to the play in center field that retired Golden at second base. That'll bring up Mason Daniels. Daniels is 0 for 3 today. Strikeout and a pair of groundouts to third. This is behind him. Ball 1. Syme says, my bad. He's certainly not trying to hit anybody right now. 1-0 is fouled in on the hands. Got a beautiful sunset happening to our right. A gorgeous pink line in the sky as the sun sets along the first base line. This is, again, over top the head of Daniels in the right-handed batter's box. Syme trying to work a 3-up, 3-down inning. Face the minimum, 2-2. Bouncer to first. Scott will step on the bag, and that'll do it for the top of the 7th. Bison go down in order. Stretch time here at the ballpark, and the Sasquatch leading this one 23-1.
so untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
Nolan Walfeltz leads off the bottom of the 7th. Looks at a first pitch, ball inside. Bryce Gamble is the new pitcher. Chopped weakly to short. Charging in is Hall. Throw to first retires Walfeltz, and there is the first out here in the 7th. The first pitching appearance for Bryce Gamble this season. He played in all 5 games as a hitter. Before getting the opportunity today to pitch. Foul tip goes off the body of Tassano behind the plate, so Corey Monroe will give a little bit extra time to Tassano to shake that one off. Micah Coleman's also batting lefty. Didn't even realize that on first look. This is a right-handed hitter, but he is taking some swings here left-handed. Why not? In a game like this, 23-1. Blooped left side, and King makes the catch. No left-handed hit today for Coleman. 2 up and 2 down.
Now batting for the Spearfish Sasquatch, number 32. From McCain, Texas.
So here's Jake Dempsey.
Jake Dempsey.
3 hits on the day for Dempsey. He's driven in 5 runs. He's also batting lefty. I believe he is a righty as well. Now it's going to be confusing. I got to try to remember off the top of my head whether these guys are righties and lefties. Dempsey, to the best of my knowledge, is in fact a righty. See how his switch hitting is. Fouls a couple pitches off. And he goes down swinging to end the bottom of the 7th. 3 up, 3 down. Sasquatch go down in order. Head to the 8th, 23-1 the score.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
I wanna shout out to the world so they know my and it blows my mind.
Hey, nice strike.
Yeah, it blows my mind. She's my lover.
Top of the 8th, Javier Marcial is the new pitcher into the ball game. Dayton Francis to lead off. First pitch from Marcial is outside, and I can promise you, even though Marcial is a position player, and even though this is a 22-run ball game, he's taking this very seriously. Fastball is up and in. He hit 90 miles an hour in his lone appearance as a pitcher this season. And he said he wanted to get back to that 90 mark, try to hit 91, but of course, hope that the fastball doesn't escape him and end up running up and in and hit anybody. It's the last thing that he wants to do in a game like this. Count 2-1 on Francis. Fastball's outside, 3 balls and a strike. Grounded left side, Coleman on the backhand, throw on to first, retires Francis. 1 up and 1 down.
1-2-1, 3962. That's our 50-50 raffle winner. Red ticket, 1-2-1, 3962.
So here's Bryce Gamble, who is now the pitcher in the ball game for Bison. This was originally David Henry's spot in the order. He started out in left field, then came into pitch, and with the plethora of changes into this ball game, Bryce Gamble now occupies this spot in the order. Nothing in 1 the count. In the dirt. Into right center field. This ball will fall in the gap. Gamble has a 1-out single off of Marcial. And a base runner here for Bison baseball in the top of the 8th inning. Mason Tassano, the catcher, will come to the plate with one away and one aboard. Javier Marcial steps off. He was about to work out of the windup, but there's a runner on base. He's got to work out of the stretch here, although I'm not sure anybody's thinking about the runners on base right now. Wild pitch goes over top the head of Dempsey. Gamble will trot over to second base.
Congratulations, $106, Richard, and thanks for all those that participated. Tim Coffey could be $10,000, Richard, at the bottom of this inning.
2-0 fastball is swung on and missed. Tassano today, a single and a pair of strikeouts. Hits the outside corner for a strike. 2-2. Sasquatch trying to finish off this victory. It would be their 23rd of the season. This pitch is up and away. Now full count on Tassano with Isaiah Brandt, the left fielder, coming up next. And that'll strike him out. Tassano down on strikes for a third time today. A little bit of a delayed call behind the plate by Corey Monroe, but strikeout nonetheless for Javier Marcial. It's out number 2 here in the top of the 8th. Comes Isaiah Brandt. Strikeout, a double, or pardon me. He's actually only had one at-bat, and it was a single. Colin Kleinsasser, before him, occupied this spot. He was the one with a strikeout and a double. Gotta be honest, my scorebook, when I flip it over to this side, on the Bison side, I can read it fairly well. When I flip it over to the Sasquatch side, a little bit tougher. 1-0. This is high. Nope, that's a strike. Another delayed call by Corey Monroe. You'd imagine the strike zone is going to get a little bit bigger here over these final couple innings. Anything close. Force the batters to swing the bat. Here comes the 1-1. This one is high. Even with a bit of an expanded zone, that one won't count. It's the 8th spot in the order for Bison baseball. 23-1, Sasquatch leading this one. Another pitch high from Marcial. 1 run on 8 hits and 3 errors for Bison. 23 runs on 18 hits and 1 error for the Sasquatch. That's on the outside corner. A full count. Marcial trying to pitch a scoreless 8th inning. 6th pitcher in the ball game for the Sasquatch, trying to work a scoreless 8th. Gamble takes off for 3rd. Pitch is fouled off. So it'll be another full count to go against Isaiah Brandt. Pitch is high. Gamble took off for 3rd base, so he steals 3rd. And it's a walk to Brandt to put runners on 1st and 3rd with still 2 men out. And it'll be Joel Beaver. Beavers came in as a pinch hitter as well, and he grounded out in his lone at-bat. Flies it in the air, center field. Wallet barely has to move, or does he? He started without moving, and then he tried to come in and make a diving catch, and the ball drops in front of him. So that'll be an error on Micah Wallet in center field. That extends the inning. A run comes in to score. Branch ends up at third base, Beaver at second base after the error. Back to the top of the order, and Ethan Kane. Marcial's first pitch is in the dirt. Ball one. Beaver takes off for second base. So it'll be an unearned run charged against Javier Marcial. Anything else this inning would also be unearned, and that means that both runs today unearned against Sasquatch pitching. First against Harb, and now against Marcial. 2-0. Two and one. Branton Beaver on the base paths with Ethan Kang up for a fifth time. Inside, 3-1. Ball four. Inning will continue. Get Josh Meyer to come in and pinch hit for Nick Golden. Originally, Alex Everson was in center. Golden came in as a pinch hitter. Came in, made 2 at-bats, and now it's Josh Meyer occupying the second spot in the order, and he looks at ball one. Marcial just trying to finish off this 8th inning. Falling behind 2-0. Meyer so far this season is 0 for 8 with 6 strikeouts, looking for his first hit. Not getting a pitch to hit. Crowd's still into it. Checks his swing, went around. That was 3-2, I guess. And that'll end the inning. Strikeout to Meyer. 8th inning is over. We head to the bottom half of the 8th, and the Sasquatch leading it 23-2.
Jet Rogers at Peak Family Chiropractic and Sports Performance.
We all take different paths in life. That's why we utilize multiple different treatments here at Peak. Our main treatment is our high-level chiropractic adjustment, but we also emphasize the use of cupping, scraping, vibration massage, trigger point therapy, and active care to promote movement, strength, mobility, and most of all, pain relief. Why travel to multiple locations when you can have total wellness under one roof? Stop in today and let's get you to your peak.
So they know my sweet baby loves me so. She got me going, yeah, she turns me on. And she loves me, yeah, she loves me, and it blows my mind.
Hey, nice try.
Yeah, it blows my mind. She's my lover.
Oh, boy. That was an interesting swing there from Danny Cook from the left side of the plate. Normally a righty. Comes up with a big swing and a miss. That didn't look pretty. Yikes. You wouldn't tell this is a guy who batted .500 his senior year of high school by the way he's swinging the bat, but I assure you he did, but it was from the right side of the plate. Struggling to make contact with the baseball, but he does there. I mean, I can't speak. I'm up here. I wouldn't be able to make contact from the right or left side of the plate, let's be honest. 0-2 the count here on the 9-hole hitter. Danny Cook batting from the left side of the plate. This is lobbed, and man, I mean, this is ILB baseball going on right now in the bottom of the 8th inning. This is as good as it gets. Bryce Gamble throwing the ball maybe 40 miles an hour tops, and Danny Cook swinging out of his shoes. Gamble's telling him what's coming. Oh, here comes an interesting delivery from Gamble. Lobbed in there. It's grounded off the glove of Gamble over to second base. The throw to first gets Danny Cook. 1 up and 1 down as Gamble pumps his chest. Back to the top of the lineup we go. We'll see what theatrics we get here from Matthew Gonzalez and Bryce Gamble in their meeting here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Gonzalez, one of the few starters to remain in the ballgame. We'll see how his left-handed swing looks. Well, maybe we won't. That pitch came inside and nearly hit Gonzalez. Gets out of the way of it. Now we just get to grade how these guys can swing from the other side of the plate. I wouldn't have known necessarily by Coleman and Dempsey that they were righties with the way they swung the bat. Hey, you see a good swing there from Gonzalez. So it's just Danny Cook then, I guess, who cannot seem to get the body going the way he wants it from the left side of the plate. Counts 1-1. Ball and 2 strikes. Strike zone's going to get a little bigger. Gonzalez acknowledging that fact, nodding with the home plate umpire Corey Monroe. I'm sure they exchanged some words there. Nothing hostile, just acknowledging the fact the zone is bigger in a 23-2 ball game. Ground ball, past Gamble, fielded at second base. Jump throw is offline. Beaver gave it his all from second, but Gonzalez reaches on the single. It's the 19th hit of the ball game for Sasquatch hitters. And it's Gonzalez's second of the ball game. And now we get the first appearance as a hitter in today's game from Chase Scott. Played in back-to-back days for the Sasquatch in his first 2 games of the year. Big swing and a miss from the left side of the plate. I don't know how he hung on to the bat with the way he swung that time. Out of his shoes. Trying to hit one out to right field. He is also a right-handed hitter. Batting from the left side of the plate. Waves and misses there. Hard not to crack a smile watching these swings. I'm sure it's all fun in the dugout right now for the Sasquatch, considering the way the bats have been playing. And in a game like this, hard not to have a lot of fun. Here comes the 0-2. Swing and a miss. The Ephus gets the strikeout. Gamble punches out Scott for the second out of the inning. He was swinging at anything there. And a beautiful Ephus gets out number 2. A rarely used pitch in 2024, but can be effective. I wish the Ephus would make a comeback. It's fun to watch when a guy throws it for real in an MLB game. Here's another Ephus. Wallette grounds it to second base. Beaver flips to second, and that ends the inning. We're headed to the 9th. 3 outs left to go for Bison baseball. Sasquatch trying to lock down win number 23. 9th inning is coming up.
On your mark, get set,
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
It'll be Elijah Bobo who will try to get the final 3 outs of this ball game and give the Sasquatch the win. Going up against 3, 4, 5 in the order. This is a real pitcher on the mound for the Sasquatch, a guy who is known to be a pitcher, not like Javier Marcial or Lane Syme, a couple position players. So hopefully we see some more efficiency from Bobo, something he's done all season long, which is having a good year. He's 15 1/3 innings pitched entering today, 3.52 ERA. He's been good. The back end of the bullpen. A good second guy to have alongside Aiden Torpy in the back end of the bullpen. 2 guys that'll probably be working a lot of the pressure innings down the stretch in those final few series. Misses there, 3 balls and no strikes. Usually a guy who's got good command, 21 strikeouts. He does have 10 walks and 15 1/3 innings pitched. So less than a walk per game, or a walk per inning, I should say. Good strikeout stuff as well. 3-0 catches the zone. It's Aiden Hall, Mason Daniels, and Dayton Francis, the 3 scheduled hitters. And the last hope for Bison today. Full count. Story of the game tells itself. All offense for the Sasquatch, 23 runs on 19 hits. A bullpen game on the pitching side of things. Kyle Finn got the start. And then it was all bullpen from there. Nathan Hart pitched 3 innings. Jackson Peters, Julio Romero, Lane Syme, Javier Marcial, and now Elijah Bobo round out the rest of the pitching for the Sasquatch today. Skied into center field. Wallet. High fly ball finally does come down. 1 away. Mason Daniels comes up with 1 away. Foul away off the bat of Daniels. Looking a little deeper into the story of the game and some of the Sasquatch hitters who were a big part of the 23-run performance. Jordan Bowman, a 5-for-5 day with 5 RBIs and 3 runs scored. And then at the bottom of the order, Jake Dempsey and Danny Cook out of the 8th and 9th spots. Dempsey was 3-for-5 today with 5 RBIs and 3 runs scored. And Danny Cook was 3-for-5 with 4 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Chop Week lead to second. Matthew Gonzalez will field and fire to first. 2 up and 2 down. And Bison Baseball's down to their final outs. As soon as this game is over, stick around for the GP Local post-game show. I'll wrap this one up. We won't have a player come up here to join me. I'll say goodbye and we'll wrap up how this game looked and look ahead to when these 2 teams match up again on Saturday and Sunday. So stick around. As soon as this game's over, maybe 1 minute or so break after that, and then I'll join you back on camera to wrap this one up and say goodbye. First pitch strike to Tim Dixon. Pinch hitting here. Cuts through that pitch, and Bison is down to their final strike. Elijah Bobo on the 0-2 is swung on and missed. Ball game over. Sasquatch complete the sweep They win 3 straight against Bison Baseball, improving to 23-13 on the season, while Bison Baseball falls to 0-6. Elijah Bobo finishes this one off. Winning pitcher will more than likely be Nathan Harb, the most effective reliever, going 3 innings. The losing pitcher will be starter Jackson Takahashi for Bison Baseball. Final score, 23-2. Sasquatch win this one. GP Local postgame show is coming up in a few.
Be fucking real, man. Come on.
Sasquatch finish off this 3-game set. They outscore the Bison 62-7. They out-hit them 52-16 over this 3-game set. And the Sasquatch win another ball game here in the second half of the season. Every game means so much, and against, let's be honest, weaker opponents, Sasquatch, these are games they have to win. They capitalize on the opportunity against Bison Baseball by winning each of the first 3 games. They're going to face this team again on Saturday and Sunday. They have Thursday and Friday off, so a chance to rest some of these arms, rest the bodies ahead of those 2 games on right here, actually, at Black Hills Energy Stadium. Saturday and Sunday, these 2 teams match up again. As for Bison Baseball, they hit the road going back to Pierre. They're in Oahe Thursday and Friday before they obviously come back here for the weekend set. Sasquatch got some help with Hastings Sodbusters losing at home against the Casper Spuds. The Fremont Moo seem to be locking down their win against the Nebraska Prospects. So Sasquatch will be still in contention against the Sodbusters and Moo the rest of the way. We'll see how it all shakes out in the final half of the season. I want to shout out Kenny Gable for helping us out on the broadcast today. She helped fix our center field camera when it went down or had some exposure problems earlier in the ballgame. So big shout out to her. Of course, a big shout out to our entire intern staff for what they do every day. Shout out to Stephen Hogenkamp, our video production intern. I'm Ari Wall, saying so long from Black Hills Energy Stadium. Sasquatch win this one. We'll see you on Saturday when the Sasquatch take on the Bison. Have a great night.